Oh, hey, there you are. Man, it's been a while. Good to see you. How you been? That's great. Good deal. Same here. Yeah, no, it's been good. Busy, busy. Anywho, um, good timing. Glad you stopped by because today we're going to go check out another rig, see if maybe we can snag it up and maybe, see what we can do with it. See if we can get it up and running. See if it will live again, you know? Pretty positive. I think so. I think we can do it. So, I mean, if you want to go along, you can. Hop in the truck. We'll head over there and see what it is. Check it out. And see if we can make a deal. And bring it on home with us. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's do it. Well, guys, there it is. If you remember, if you watched the video where we pulled the Metropolitan out of this barn, this is where it's at for a long time, right back in this corner, which is awesome because it really saved the car. The frame and everything's in really great shape. Yeah, you can still see the marks on the floor from us pulling it out. It was tight. All this stuff was here. And if you haven't watched that video, it's one of the first videos I did, but it was a chore to get that thing turned and rolled out of here. But anyway, tucked back behind the car was this little Honda 50. And yeah, it's super cool. I'm really pumped about this thing. And let's see. It's last tagged in 83. This is a 1965 Honda 50 is what they call them. Looks to be in pretty decent shape and pretty complete. Mileage on it is 345, it looks like, 0.7. I've never dealt with one of these before, just like the Metropolitan, but excited to get it to the house and learn some more about it. So hopefully we can work a deal and get this thing loaded up today. Yep, sweet. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's see if we can get these tires to hold some air. We made the deal. It is ours. So it is missing a couple parts. Looking it over a little closer, but we'll figure that out. That'll work for now. All right, let's get in here and check this thing out a little closer. There's the other side. Pretty decent shape. It is missing this. Looks like somebody was messing with it. This was off. The hand grip was off, and I cannot find this top piece for that, but the key's in it. She has the pink slip, and yeah, should be good to go. These mirrors. Something like that. Cool little rig. Get it loaded up. That was a lot easier to get out than the Met. All right, see if we can get this thing loaded up by ourselves. Maybe, maybe not. Yep. It's like that. There it is, guys. 1965 Honda 50. Let's see what we can do with that. Another one saved. Pretty sweet rig. Well, it's time to dig into this thing. See what we got. First thing, this throttle is missing pieces. So I was able to find some new pieces, ordered them, got them. So hopefully we can piece that part back together with what we got. And then, how much work do you think we have to do to get this thing to start? I've got a new battery and stuff. Change the oil. We'll definitely change the oil. But maybe we can get it to fire. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Here's what we got with the throttle. So this top cap was missing. No idea what's going on there, but this thing, the cable locks in here, and then this locks into these little notches on here. And then as you twist the throttle, it should pull the cable to the carburetor. And then this thing's got like a corkscrew style inside of it, which bites onto this and ideally pulls it like that. What's weird is I'm not getting, I don't feel like, it feels like it's just skipping over. Yeah. It's wanting to, but it's not pulling it. Which is weird because this is not that hard to pull. Wonder if this thing is worn out and that's why they had this all apart. What if we try the new one? Let's see what, or not new one, it's another used one, but maybe it's in better shape. Perhaps, perhaps not. Nobody really knows. And that's not, or does it just, is it working and it's just that easy? Let's see. What if it just works that easy? Shouldn't that have some spring back? I don't know. I am not sure what's going on here. What if this part is worn out? It doesn't seem to be too bad. What if we put some WD on it? Will we ruin it? Does anybody have directions for this? I don't understand. I feel like I'm really missing something here. That's so weird. I don't get what's supposed to happen. I got dirty already. Wasn't planning on that today. All right, hold on. So here's a better view of what's going on. So this piece comes out, right? Slips right in there. Cable drops into there, and then if you can see, there's kind of this little notch on each side, and this thing has got notches in it, or little bevels, whatever you call it. I don't know the word. And then this, as you twist, will pull this out, and acceleration, you know? So, guess just get this cleaned up as good as I can, and then try to bolt this thing back together and with a new cap and see how it works out. So I'm gonna get these little pieces all cleaned up and everything nice and cleaned up, and then I'll bring you back when I'm going to put it together. Okay, got this pretty cleaned up. Just for you guys, if you're doing this yourselves, inside here is a little spring, and so don't lose that. In the parts that I ordered, there were 2 springs, and obviously there's this one in here, just like this one, but there was another one in the bag, and I don't know if this half is supposed to get a spring also. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Let's try it with it in it, I guess, and see how that works out. So, let's see. We just kind of put that on there, I guess. And then how does that need to slip up in there? I'm assuming so, right? Yeah, something like that. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this piece, this lip that sticks out, needs to slip up under the grip. Apparently, I'm thinking. Stay there. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that. Stay there. Now, can we get this doohickey on? That's good. Ooh, okay. Did we do it? I don't know if it's... How do you... I feel like this should be butted up to here for sure, and it's not. So something ain't right. Oh, you hear that? I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing? Okay, all right, okay. I don't know if that's right. It's not really springing back. I don't know if it's pulling the cable. Oh no, it came over. And now we gotta redo it all over again. Ridiculous. This is, no, it's not how this should go. Oh, did it pop all the way out? Nice. Whatever. Why is it like this? Just can't be easy, huh? Nope. Nope. Wouldn't be fun if it was easy. Okay, did I do it? No spring back. I don't know what that means. I don't think it's doing the thing. Because, well, can I pull this out? There we go. Okay. Nope. Nada. Okay, let's take it apart and do it again. Got to get that thing to lock in, I guess, somehow. Magically. No comprendo. I do not get it. Now it's all locked up. I had it before. What is going on? There it is. Oh, nope. Lost it. I had it. Why'd it go back? Okay. Okay. It's good. For now, get it all back together, and it'll drop out again. Don't say that. It's the wrong attitude. Oh, wrong attitude. Oh, that's too tight. Now what? Yep, popped out again. There is. I'll show you this. So on the piece I ordered, it's a little different than this one. And it's quite a bit longer. Think that would help? No idea. But maybe that's the ticket. Why this one doesn't look like it's been cut or anything. Well, let me get this one cleaned up and we'll give that a shot. Well, I forgot to hit record. You know? Yep. But here's what happened. We're good to go. So the little piece that slides on there, this little one, is apparently too short. And with the parts that I bought to rebuild this or to put this together, there was this piece, but it was longer, like almost twice as long. And so I dropped that in there and it worked perfectly and it didn't slip out and stuff. So I greased it all up, got a bunch of grease in there and stuff, clamped it all down, screwed the cable back into the carburetor, and we are good to go. So, unfortunately, you're just going to have to believe me on that one. All right, now, what's next? Pour some gas in and kick it over? I don't know if this thing will fire without a battery. You think it will? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I do not know. But might as well put the battery in it anyway. So, let me see. I'll be right back. Well, my very limited research tells me that this thing should run with no battery in it. It's just the blinkers and things like that, horn, may not work as well as they could. So, I don't know. I'm really feeling like dumping some gas in here and kicking her over. See what happens. What do you think? You think so? The tank is pretty clean. So, I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to dump a little in there. This is closed reserve open. And let's see where the gas leaks out at. And then go from there. Okay. The oil, it's got oil, and the oil looks pretty dang clean. I don't know when it was last changed. Could have been 83. I don't know, but it looks pretty clean. I wonder if they parked this thing because they were just having a problem with the throttle. What if that was it? What if this thing just fires right up? Let's find out. I gotta find some gas. Is that enough to run it on reserve? Oh boy. Okay. Key. This has two positions. C. Oh. Off. 1 and 2. Somebody said try it on 1. So that's the route we're gonna go. Close the choke. What do you think? What if it just fires up? I don't know if they parked this in 83. That's when it was last tagged. But who knows? They could have ridden it, you know, around the farm after that. Well, it's not even. Oh, it's in gear. Hey, you know, not today. Well, maybe not. Yeah. So that is neutral. Okay. That gotten that far. Wonder if we got spark. Should probably check that, huh? That won't work. Nope. That won't work. Maybe you should take this shroud fender off, whatever you call it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Some spacers in there that we don't know where they go. That's fine. Okay, now, is there something to drain this bowl? I don't see anything. Should be right there. Oh, that thing's backwards. Close. That's choke. That's open. Well, maybe we need a battery. Let's pull the spark plug and see what it says. Or maybe there's bigger problems. Nothing's leaking though. That's nice. Maybe if we pull the spark plug, we can check for spark. You still watching? Okay. Definitely not horrible. cleaned. Sweet. Okay. Can we ground this out and see if it sparks? Nope. 0. So maybe we do need a battery, or maybe the magneto is toast. I don't know, but it's got gas now. It's leaking out the overflow. Okay, we need spark. We're gonna need that. Is the fuse good? Looks fine. Fuse is good. Okay. Then we must need some juice. Right? Because we got no spark. Unless the magneto is toast. Confirmed again. No spark. Alright, here's what we got. So, I cannot get spark out of this thing. It did have a battery in it that doesn't look terribly old, but it was completely dry. So I pulled that out. I do have a new battery, but I don't know if I have the proper charger for it. So I think I have something that might work. But what I'm going to do is I refilled the old battery, and I'm going to let that set and settle, and then attempt to charge that one with the charger I have and just see how that goes. Just as an experiment. Who knows? Might get lucky. And then if that seems like it's going to work, then I may use that charger. I probably will order another charger just to know I have the right one. But that won't be here till tomorrow or the next day. So I'm going to do that. And then maybe we'll start just cleaning this thing up. Maybe if we get bored, we'll pull the carburetor off and open it up, clean it up. And I thought I had a rebuild kit, but I'm not finding it. You know? That's how that goes. So, that's where we're at. Yep. Okay. Okay, here's the deal. I got a battery charger that will work for this battery. Doing a little experiment. I'm going to see if I refilled the old battery with distilled water. See if maybe it'll take a charge. It seems like it is somewhat. So I just want to do a little experiment and see how that works out. If not, I've got a new battery. Got to put the acid in it and everything and then charge that one. But in the meantime, I'm going to start cleaning this thing up. I just got a bucket of soapy water and just start wiping the dirt off of this thing and then see how far we go. See how it turns out. We got a car show coming up this weekend, and it's going to be at Castle Air Force Base in Atwater, California. And we're going to take 2 vehicles, the Metropolitan and the Chevy Love. Take those both out there. We're all registered up, ready to go. And if I can get this thing probably at least just even cleaned up, even if it's not running, although I think we should be able to get there too. But I'm going to throw this thing in the back of the Love, strap it down, and take it along for the ride too. I think this thing's going to clean up pretty nice. It's in pretty decent shape. This was, stored in the barn, so for the most part, most of its life, I'm sure. The only damage is on the back of the back fender. Obviously, somebody enjoyed popping wheelies. Who wouldn't? And looks like the fender probably caught on the ground a few times. You know, if you ever want to really look at a vehicle and find out what it's really about, just go ahead and wash it. Give it a detailed wash. You will see everything. Like something I hadn't noticed all the way up to this point, that this has a grease fitting right here. The grease that brake caliper, I guess, or the suspension. The suspension rides in here, so that's what that's for. Yeah, this thing's gonna clean up real nice. Toughest part is gonna be the chrome, but I mean, even that's not horrible. Some steel wool should clean up pretty nice for the most part. This belonged to Sharon, the lady we bought the Metropolitan from, and she would drive it all over the countryside, through the orchards and stuff, go see her friend. You think if we take it over there when it's running that she'll ride it again? Maybe. Maybe we could talk her into it. Blinkers are all there. Mirrors are fairly rusty. I don't think those are going to come spotless, but we'll get them as good as we can. Check this out. Cleaning up pretty decent. No license plate with registration in here. Pretty sweet. Merced, California, Joe Herb. Must have been a dealer. Got those on it. That must have been the dealer they bought it from, I'm assuming. I think there's one on this side too, yep. And just never left Merced County. Still here. Hopefully get a new life. Back on the road-ish. Alright, well, I'm gonna knock out the other side. Keep cleaning on this thing and I'll bring you back and show you the progress. Okay, let's see what happens with this muffler, this exhaust. With some steel wool. Yeah, there's some, is that dirt or rust? Might be better than I expected. What were you expecting? Sand? You can't say that after I said it already. Come on, be original. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got some pitting up here, but this is sharp. It is sharp. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a nice rig. Get you in here a little closer. That's what it looked like before. See that? That's heavier rust up there. Lighter rust. The lighter rust is coming right off for the most part, but up here we got some of that going on. But man, not bad. All right, the battery's got a little bit of a charge, but I don't think it's going to go past a certain point. So I slapped it in here. I'm just going to see what happens, you know? Yeah. Somebody definitely had this open numerous times. Those screws are about stripped out. What if I take off? Can I take off the whole side cover? Or is that sealed? This one's a scary one. I don't want to strip it out more. Got it. Oh, okay. That doesn't... Does that do anything for us? How do these work? Man, that looks pretty dang clean in there. Pretty spotless, honestly. But I don't see the points moving at all. Shouldn't this be spinning or no? The points are not moving even a little bit. So what does that mean? What in the world does that mean? I think that's our problem. I mean, it's not moving at all. I assume there's a lobe in there that the points ride on, and they are not budging. And they open manually. You can open them. Well, I'm gonna have to bust open the manual and see what's going on. Right in there. I don't know how well you can see, but the points are not moving at all. And this is also not spinning. And I don't know if it's supposed to. I would assume, but maybe not. Alright, I'm gonna look at the manual and service manual and see what I can find. Here's the deal. It's not good. So, did a little bit of research, and this is not turning over the engine. And apparently, these things have a history of breaking deep inside the engine, this massive engine. And to replace it, that requires pulling the engine and splitting the whole thing apart. Basically, not completely, but pretty close to completely disassembling the engine, pulling the head and cylinder off, splitting the cases, and getting to this thing and replacing it if you can find a replacement. I don't know. I watched a video, a guy bought an aftermarket one, starter shaft, and pretty quickly it broke on him again. So this thing, that's why we're not getting spark, and that's why it's not starting for us. But once in a while, now it won't do it, but right there, once in a while it'll grab, and then it goes. So I don't know if there's a little piece on there that ends up grabbing gears and pulling that thing around, and I wonder if it's gotten rounded off, and occasionally it catches on a gear but then slips off. I can't tell if it's actually turning the engine over at that point, or if it's just slipping off. But I mean, is the engine froze up? Maybe. I don't know. I wonder if it's possible. This thing is a 3-speed, no clutch. I wonder if it's possible to push start this. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe. With the way the clutch is, I don't know, because there's a whole mechanism in there that keeps the clutch from engaging, or engages the clutch so it turns the engine over, but then disengages once it starts, and then re-engages once you put it in gear, obviously. It's like, I mean, I wonder if the engine's froze up. What if the piston's frozen in the cylinder or something? I don't want to break anything more, but I don't know what to do at this point. What's weird is that clicking sound right there tells me that that little piece is contacting the gear correctly, but then, and it also spins the back wheel. Which, I mean, is it not in neutral? Yeah, that piston is not moving at all. I wonder if I can turn this thing over from here. I just don't want to break anything internally that I don't need to, you know? Or, I mean, maybe it's the rockers. I just don't know. Yep, something's bound up in there. Oh. There it goes. What just happened? The piston is moving. The piston is moving all over the place. Boys and girls, we're moving. Wow. Yes. So, wow. And now the points are moving, obviously, because that whole assembly is spinning. Okay, all right. I'll just show you real quick what I did over here. So right down here, we got this whole assembly, and that nut right there, this one, I was spinning that over back and forth. And that broke her free. And there's the points right there. So that thing was getting to a point and not wanting to spin. And now it's spinning. And the piston is moving. I do not know. Can I turn my flashlight on? I don't know if we can see this or not. Nah, I don't think so. But anyway, that's where we're at. That's exciting. That means something, right? Okay, well, now, if I can get the Kickstarter to catch, will I have spark? Oh yeah. We got spark. 100% strong. It's there. It's like a lightning storm over on that side. I don't know if you could see it from where you're at, but it just lit up the whole thing. Yes. That is awesome. All right, spark plug, you're going back in. We'll clean you up a little bit first. How's that? Seems pretty good. All right. That is awesome. Wow. You know, my years working on cars, I have not experienced very many engines that were stuck, if any. I can't remember any offhand that were really, really stuck. And so that caught me off guard because, I mean, I know the possibility is always there, but for something like this that sat in a dry barn and out of the weather and everything, that's interesting. Okay, well, now what? Yep, you know what. Let's do this. I don't know what position. There's 2 positions for the key. 3 positions. Off, 1, and 2. I don't know. I don't know which one. But I left it on last night, so battery's definitely maybe dead. I don't know. There's nothing running on the thing, but all right. Choke on. Reserve. You heard that. You heard it. I heard it, and you heard it. What if this is getting crazy here? We're getting out of control, but what if I tried starting it with my drill over here? Where's my bits and pieces? Right there. Oh. Don't try this at home, kids. Okay, maybe just a regular drill. All right, calm down, settle down. We might have flooded it. Spark plug's not wet. No spark now. No, boy. What do we do? No spark. Well, maybe it can't be done that. Why not, though? Engine spins. Okay. So that's the only way we're getting spark. So I can't get spark doing it that way. Weird. I don't like to do this, but let's try this. Oh. Yeah, we're getting there. It's all right. You've been sleeping a long time. Mamacita. Carb probably definitely needs a rebuild. But, you know, we don't have to. Wouldn't take long to pull this carb off. I don't have a new gasket, but I wonder what the spark plug cap should be on this. 0.024. Yeah, it's pretty close. Alright. That's it for today. I think maybe tomorrow pull that carb off, clean it out, slap it back on and see what that does. At this point, that's got to be the problem. We've got excellent spark. So unless the battery being dead has something to do with it, but it shouldn't. Should it? So here's what I'm going to do. I've got a new battery for this thing, and I know it's for this thing because it says Honda battery right there. So I've never done this, but this is an acid battery. acid-filled battery, and they send it dry, so you've got to add the acid to it. So we're going to do that. Get that filled up, and then I'm going to put it on the charger. I'm supposed to charge it for 4 hours or something like that. And then while that's charging, take this carburetor off, pull it apart, see if we can save the gaskets. Probably not. But I think I have some gasket material here. Worst case, we can make our own. Get that all cleaned up, pop it back on, and then see what happens. All right. Good plan. You guys ever messed with these? I have not. If you have, tell me down in the comments everything I'm doing wrong. It'll be too late, but you can still tell me. Yeah, charging time 2 to 3 hours with the charger I have. Okay, so they send you a whole bunch of different wiring and fuse holders and stuff for the different types of batteries that you may need. Here it is. 6-volt battery, 2 amp hour, 10 cold cranking amps. I don't know if this one even lists. So you can get this one off of here. This one says 2A, 2 amp, 2 amp. This doesn't tell you the cold cranking amps. Anyway, that one's toast, I think. Okay. Remove and discard red vent plug before filling with acid. So there's a plug on the side here. They say it's red. It is not. It's black. Definitely black. So you gotta pull that off. I guess that's a vent. So we did that. Okay. Get rid of the sticker. And then they send you some tubies and a container of acid. Causes burns. Oh boy. This container is not child resistant once opened. This is getting dangerous. I'm scared now. This is too much. Okay. Instructions. They got pictures? Oh yeah, they got pictures. Look. Would you look at that? Okay. So I'm guessing we take the plastic off. They don't tell us that in the directions, but well. Oh yeah, this thing has to sit 1 hour after putting the acid in. Forgot about that. Hope we got time for all this today. Okay. There's that. And then you'll want to the red tube is for this. You got to cut the top off of this, and then you got your red tube, and then like that. These yellow caps should come off. Just pop right out. Like that. Okay. Oh, they do tell you to take the plastic off. Nice. Fill battery with electrolyte up to upper level. Let battery stand for 1 hour before charging. Gently move battery from side to side to release any air bubbles between the plates. Okay. Well, I guess we're ready to cut this dude off. This is probably not the best tool. Where is the best tool? This is not the best tool either. But, okay. Oops, got a drop of acid. Not that kind of acid, guys. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, now we want to fill this thing to the upper level. All right, you seeing this? Are you watching? Okay, you're watching. Can't even see anything. Oh, barely. Okay, that one's to the upper level. And I assume what's going to happen is this is going to bleed down. Yeah, big time. This one's already went way down. Okay. Let that sit for a bit. And I'll just keep adding as needed. I'll set that off to the side here so she won't spill. And let's get this carburetor off of here, I guess. All right. Gonna have to drain the gas tank because I filled it all the way up, you know, with high hopes. I pulled this fuel line off first because I just want to make sure I know how this works. I think this is the primary fuel line, and then this is the reserve. And I assume this last one is a vent or something. Okay, we're out of gas. So that's... Oh. That pretty much drained the tank. So what does this one do? Well, well, then maybe this is main and this is return. I don't know. It's tough to see which one goes where. This one. Oh, yeah, that's just a vent. Also, I guess. That doesn't go anywhere, it just goes right there. And this must be the overflow drain. Alright, whatever. There it is. And the gasket, oh, this has a rubber O-ring on it. With the gasket or with no gasket? I don't know. Oh, it's got a spacer and then an O-ring on the bottom. Hopefully that's still decent. Okay, let's get this dude apart. Let's see what's going on. All right, here we go. Okay, I believe, well, this was right at one turnout. Remember that? And this one, I believe, was like 1 1/4. Yep. So, remember that. Write it down so we don't forget. This has a O-ring on it that I don't want to try to take off because I'll break it, but I also don't want to heat it up. What is that? You got leakage. That's pretty much it for that part. What does that do? Somebody tell me what that's supposed to do? Because it doesn't affect the float. It doesn't go into any kind of cavity. I don't know. There's our float. Bowl's not horrible, but it could be cleaner. That's dirty. All right. Well, I'm going to spray this stuff out with carb cleaner, I guess. I don't have a rebuild kit. I don't have any of these parts. Should something come apart. Any of these O-rings. So, might just spray everything out and put it back together. Okay, I've cleaned this thing up as much as I'm comfortable doing right now, and hopefully it's good enough. What I'll do, probably, this thing's so easy to pull off of here. Probably build or buy a rebuild kit and then really go all in, I think. Okay, how's the battery doing? It's holding. It's holding pretty good right there. A little bit more in this one. It's tough to see. Okay. Put this thing back together. And hope for the best. Okay. And that should be it for... You guys didn't even say anything. Ridiculous. I trusted you. Just sat there. Not a word. No leftover parts? Excellent. All right. Well, it's not spotless, but it'll match everything else. There it is. I'm going to get this battery charging, and then we'll put this carb back on and hope for the best. All right, let's put this carburetor back on. Okay, nice. Well, my camera says it's full. Decided to stop on me. So if you didn't catch it, on these lines on the carburetor, it does say open and reserve. So this one I pulled off on the far side this way is the reserve line. That's why I drained the whole tank. All right, let's put some gas back in this thing. See how many leaks we got. That's leaking right off the bat. Oh boy. Oh, I didn't have it tightened down all the way. Now will it stop? Stop. Okay. I think crisis averted. I think we did it. Well, should we try it with no battery? What do you think? I'm thinking that I had a little Honda moped way back in the day when I was a kid, teenager. And if I remember right, the key, the 2-position key, 1 is for it to run, 2 is if you want lights and everything to work. So technically, I feel like it should start without a battery, but I don't know. Oh, we were gushing. We are gushing gas over here. Why is it flooding out? The float sticking? That thing is just pouring gas out. Why? Why would it do that? Yeah, that float is not right. Did I not put it back together right? Well, perfect. It's not how I planned on that going. All right, folks, here's where we're at. Things got a little crazy after I turned off the camera and got out of hand. The float is not working properly in the carburetor now, and it's just overflowing and running out of the drain tube. And then I started thinking about something I should have thought of in the first place, at least a while ago. Thought, hey, let's pop these open and check out the rockers and the valves and see what's going on. Popped open the intake. It's great. It's moving perfectly. Nice. Pulled off the one for the exhaust, and not ideal. A lot of rust and corrosion in there. And so to get in there and see a little better, actually, no, I'm sorry. There was no rust and corrosion inside there, but the valve was stuck open, and it won't close. The spring is not bringing it back. So then I decided to pull the exhaust off, and first of all of this cat food and whatnot came out of there. And I said, oh no. Oh boy. I know what happened here. And then we can look. You can see that. That's kind of what the inside of that head looks like where the valve's at. And I mean, it's really tough. I don't know if I can even show you. You can see that. Maybe, sorta. But it's bad. It's bad, and that valve is stuck open. And I'm starting to think that that's why the engine didn't want to turn over. That's what was seized. Not the piston in the cylinder. I think it was that valve. And the piston was pushing that valve, and eventually either we bent it or I got it to, it looks like it did move back a little bit. So I think we pushed that thing back with the piston. But now what I feel like's got to happen is I've got to pull this head off at least and clean it up and see if I can clean that valve. I've actually ordered some other valves and gaskets and a carburetor rebuild kit so that I can pull that apart and just get it cleaned up and make sure it's working properly and put it back together. And then I'm pretty confident that it's going to run easily, fairly easily, because it's firing great. Got great spark. We got fuel. And because that valve is stuck open, obviously it doesn't have the compression it needs to fire on the firing stroke. So I think that's what's going on. That's where we're at. But here's the dealio. I got a car show in 2 days. And my hope was to have this thing up and running for that show. But I think what I'm going to do is just put it back together for now, wait for the parts, and I've got to clean up the Metropolitan and the Chevy Love and get them ready for the show. And then my plan is have this thing cleaned up, this thing right here, and put it in the back of the Love for the car show. And at least it'll be there, you know, to look at. And we'll do that. And then once we get the parts in, we'll continue the work on it. Cool. All right. I'll see you then. All right. We are back. Back from the car show. Had a great time. A lot of people were checking this thing out, so we got to get it running. I got to pull this whole thing back off, pull the exhaust back off, and we'll get to that head and pull that head off. I got my new valves. The new valves are in. And we'll just dig into this thing and see what we can do. Hopefully get it fired up soon. All right. Left all my tools just laying out here, it looks like. So that's cool. You say, wow, Newt, looks like you've done that before. Yes. In fact, I have. Yep. We do it nice because we do it twice. That's the motto here at Newt's Nostalgia. What's your motto in your shop? Tell me in the comments. Love to hear it. Okay. This little doohickey on the bottom is a little mud guard. You know what? Let's do this right. Gotta go easy on those knees, you know? Pull the exhaust. There's one bolt here. This bolt goes through the entire body, frame, whatever. For the swing arms, just take that nut off there. You got two 10 millimeters down here. Come right out, and then you got the nuts on the studs right here at the head. Yep, that simple. hide those right there. Definitely lose those. Okay, and then just sort of pull this thing off, and then you'll have to push the brake down and shimmy it out of there. And we still got some debris going on in there, and I don't know if that is a dead mouse, the remains of several mice, if that's more cat food they had in there, or if that's the muffler coming apart. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I said I don't know. All right. See, we polished this thing up nice and pretty, but yeah, let's do that before we put it back on. Let's just lay that right here on the Metropolitan. It has a car cover. Don't worry about it. Okay, now to the nitty gritty. We got to pull this rocker cover off first. Okay, and that is, looks like, oh yeah, this does need to come off. I believe these two studs are bolts that go in, and then two up here. I think that's how that's going to go. And we've also got probably what's an oil line over here on this side. Let me get you in here. We can check this out. And I think we can just pop that off, get a better view, and then unbolt the carb, just pull it up, and then pop the head right off, I think. And then we're in, you know? Let's check it out. Come here. So, these two studs right here, and two bolts up here, right there and right there, should go right into the head. Then on this side, we've got what I'm assuming is an oil line coming from the crankcase up into the rocker cover to oil those valves and springs and whatnot, rockers, all the good stuff. So I guess let's pop these 4 bolts out of the front and see what happens. How much oil is going to come running out of here? Maybe some. This way? I don't know if it's big enough, you know, right? Okay. Oil line's off. Oh, well, we don't need to do that yet, but spark plug wire's off. Well then, those go into the head, and then the head should have bolts that go into the cylinder. What am I missing here? I don't want to wedge on this thing and snap any of these fins. There she goes. You see that? And there it is. There's the little rockers in there. Looks pretty clean, pretty decent, I think. Cool. And then here's your push rods. That one looks good. And that one's stuck. Oh no. What if... Hey, that valve's not stuck open, but that is the push rod for the exhaust. What if that thing is broken? What if we need a push rod? That thing is wedged in there. Well, see if we can pull the carb, pull the head off, and see what's in there. I don't like it. It's full of mysteries. Wow, that felt like that broke. I don't like that at all. That does not feel right. That's sketchy. Okay, now get the head off. Are we missing anything? I can leave the spark plug in there, I think. The carburetor's disconnected. Nothing else down here. Exhaust is off. Nothing over here. Moment of truth. Let's I need to pull these out probably, but I don't know if I can pull. I think that one might be bent. Thing's definitely bent. Well, guess we'll order more parts. Is it hitting? See, that's hitting. That's got to come out. I got to get that thing out somehow. I don't want to booger it up with pliers, but I think it's already. No good. Oh, man. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. This isn't as fun as I anticipated. Now what? How does that cylinder bolt to the crankcase from inside? I don't know. Or no, maybe. Does that whole thing, this all come off together? I am not sure. Guess I should have paid more attention when I was watching videos on YouTube. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep, she's bent. She is bent. There's some little O-rings right there. And that's what the bottom side of the head looks like. Valves right there. So looks to me like the valves are actually fine. It's that push rod. Well, maybe it's not fine. Maybe. No, I think this. Can you see now what's going on in there? That valve is crusty. And so now what I believe happened is this valve is stuck and it didn't want to move. And so the push rod bent, because I can move that one. Cannot move the exhaust. Look at that, dude. That's supposed to be like that? Yep. Bad mistake on my part. I really should have checked those valves. But I don't know if I would have even known, you know, if I'd seen it not moving. I mean, how do you know why it's not moving? I guess I don't know without pulling it apart. But that's why it suddenly turned over and got easier. So now I got to get back on the line in order a push rod or maybe a set. How does this all look? All right, let me soak this up a little bit. I'll be back. Well, she sure turns over nice now. Real nice. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this video, folks. It's getting deep in this thing, you know. More work than I anticipated. It really is, but it's fine. It's all good. Could be worse. Could be better. But this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to shut this one down here, and then we'll do a part 2. So stay tuned for that. And just want to say thank you again so much for stopping by, watching the videos. Hopefully you enjoy them. Hopefully maybe some of you learn something. I'm learning as I go on most of this stuff, just winging it, you know. And it's what I enjoy doing, and I'm sure many of you do too. So anyway, the next video we've got to get that stuck valve unstuck, get some new push rods, and whatever else, and put this thing back together and see if we can get it to actually run. I don't see why we couldn't. So that's what I'm planning on. So you should too. Yep. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't, if you could go and you're on social media, if you could follow us on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok at Newt's Nostalgia, that's where you can find us. That'd be awesome. That'd really help us out. And if you enjoy the videos and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. That also helps quite a bit. And so, yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.